Hey, what's up everybody? I finally am uploading another YouTube video. This time we're going to do something a little bit different though. Here in front of me we have a 2019 Volkswagen Golf GTI, and in this video we're going to be going through a little overview, a little review of it, and take it out for a test drive and kind of tell you guys, is it something I would recommend to you guys, or is it something that I would rather, push away, go for a Civic Si or a Focus ST or whatever else this car also competes with. So for starters, this specific vehicle, this is a 2019 model. The Carfax lists it as a Rabbit Edition. However, I don't see the Rabbit Edition wheels or the symbol. I could be wrong though. Anybody who knows a lot about these cars, tell me in the comments below if Rabbit Editions came with just the standard wheels and no symbol. Right off the bat though, with that out the way, this is based off of a GTI S, which is the base model, I believe, for these vehicles. So you do get these really nice 18-inch wheels, which have always been kind of like my favorite that Volkswagen's ever made, right behind the Mark 6 GTI wheels. This is painted in Tornado Red, I want to say. King's Red, I believe, is a little bit darker, and it's on the newer GTIs. I know that for sure. So I believe this is painted in Tornado Red, and this one being a Mark 7.5, this is the facelift. I believe the facelift ran from 2018 to 21. Let's get a little close-up of the wheels. We do have 18-inch wheels like I brought up before. They are wrapped in 225/40 Bridgestone tires, which makes them pretty nice to drive, I will say. I have Bridgestones on my 9th Gen SI, at least in the front, because I still need to replace the back low-key. Here we have the engine open. Hydraulic hood strut for the base model, which is actually pretty impressive. Here we have our EA888, which is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, making around the 228 horsepower mark. It's sending all that power to the front wheels through a 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission, aka the famous DSG, as all of you guys know and love. Very quick shifting. We're going to see that on the test drive today. Since this is a 5-door hatchback, we will see the cargo space in here. And as you see in front of your eyes, we do have actually a decent amount of cargo room back here. That's one thing I love about the GTI, is you can have sport without necessarily sacrificing comfort. You have your 12 volts back here, or your 12 volt rather. There's only one on the right side. And you look down here, let me move the key, pero you look down here, you have your spare tire too. I don't know about the new GTIs if they come with spares, but I do know the SIs, at least the new ones, do not come with spares. So you get a spare in this vehicle. Here you can put the seats back down back here, and you do have a little cover right here, and covered in this really nice feeling carpet to kind of hide your items when you do close the trunk. Made our way into the back seat here, and I'm 5'8". However, I do sit a little bit reclined. More like a lot reclined when I'm driving. Make whatever joke you want. But as you can see, I fit in here perfectly. I mean, the headroom is nice, the legroom is nice. There really isn't any issue here. I do wish we had connectivity back here, but it's fine. At least the rear passengers do get air vents here, and we do get the plaid seat treatment, which I absolutely love. Struggling to open this little armrest here. It's actually really plush too, so your rear passengers can lay it on comfort, with 2 cup holders also right here in the middle. So for a back seat, I must say this car is really spacious. I think even your taller passengers will be pretty happy with this setup. LED dome lights in the back as well, which is a huge plus. Making our way into the front seat, which is where all the action happens. It's pretty nice in here. It's comfortable, the seats aren't crazy bolstered, so anyone can really kind of like fit in here. Here's our shifter right here. Mechanical handbrake, which I love. I'm tired of these, button e-brakes. It's me personally, I just don't like that. Let's turn on the car and, let's check out a couple features in here, and then let's go on and take it for a test drive. Your key fob right here. No push to start. Push that button. Nice, decent little startup. Like I was saying, we do have our heated seats standard here, which is a plus, especially if you're in the north like I am, where we do have pretty cold winters here. Decent little touchscreen for a base model. As you can see, we do have our wired Android Auto and Apple CarPlay standard. We have our radio here. It's not a crazy, you know, sounding sound system, but it's not bad for a base model, I guess you can say. You do have your analog gauge clusters here, your speedometer here, tachometer here, as well as your range, and you could kind of go through different settings on this menu right here and kind of just go through assists, your audio, telephone, vehicle status, lap timer. If you really do enjoy tracking your car, that's a plus in this vehicle. Might take this, you know, to a little Autobahn country club. Got this thing out on the road now. This is my first time driving a DSG. I drove one maybe when I was like 15 years old when learning how to drive. I learned how to drive in a Mk7.5 GTI, and that was in the parking lot. So if you want to count that, sure. But other than that, this is really my first time in a DSG. I'm always used to driving manual. It does feel nice and quiet in here, which for a German car, I mean, you kind of expect that with their quality and their sound deadening within the doors. Your mirror controls are to the left, if you don't know that about Volkswagens. It feels pretty responsive in the steering too. Like, the suspension isn't stiff at all. It's a little stiffer than your normal average car, but I mean, at the end of the day, this is a GTI, so you're gonna expect a little bit more of a stiffer ride compared to if you were riding in a normal like Golf per se. Here we're gonna do a little bit of a run real quick. Ooh, little bit of turbo intake noise. Stock, I like that. I like that. These paddles, although they are very plasticky feeling, they're really responsive. I mean, you're able to shift. I see why people build these for power, you know? And 228 horsepower, it may not seem like a lot, but in a car that's relatively light, this car really isn't that heavy. It does feel pretty punchy. A little bit of windows down action. Hopefully you guys can still hear my voice, but this car feels really punchy for what it is. And then you can just put it back in normal auto and cruise without a single problem. I mean, if you're in the market for your first sporty car, your first sporty daily, especially, even I'll go as far as to say first car, I always recommend the GTI to people. This car does feel really nice for a beginner driver, and you're not limited to just a manual. If you don't want to practice manual or you don't know how to drive manual, you're perfectly fine. Here we're in auto mode. We're going to test a little bit of some corners here. I can only imagine how this thing will sound if you put an intake on this thing, because you already have some decent turbo noise stock. And if you are just cruising, you know, you have plenty of passing power and some really nice downshifts. I mean, this is probably one of the nicest sounding downshifts that I've heard from an automatic transmission. I mean, listen to that. That's third gear. Maybe drop it down a little bit of speed. We'll go into second real quick. You can't lie, that sounds pretty damn gnarly, man. Coming around this road again, because there's a road that I do want to take this car on real quick. But as you can see, automatic mode. I'm still in sport, but automatic mode. I could turn off traction control. Actually, my traction's still on, so. And I'm cruising perfectly fine. I mean, if I had my music on, you know, I could just be jamming, you know? Like, I feel like when this car came out, even brand new, I believe this was a $30,000 car when this was brand new in 2019. I feel like that's still good for the value of what you're getting with this vehicle. but used. I mean, right now we have this currently on our lot for 22. The car does have 65,000 miles on it, and it's nice. It's genuinely, in my opinion, a nice buy for anybody. I mean, it's comfortable, it's spacious, it's sporty. This being a 7.5, these really are actually not that bad in reliability. They're truly not bad. You know, it might be a bit on the more expensive side being a German vehicle, but they really aren't horrible in reliability, man. I mean, you can totally drive this thing for miles and miles and cross country, and you really won't have a single problem sacrificing anything. And you can make power on these literally just easy, bro. An email and a downpipe and an email of a tune, bro. Like, you're making power. If you throw an IS38 Golf R turbo in this, you're perfectly fine, dude. Here we'll do a little. Damn. With all that being said, we're now going to return this car, and I will let you guys know my thoughts on this vehicle very shortly. And here we have it. This was our review on the 2019 Mk7.5 GTI. This is a car that you could really show to anybody and they'll enjoy it, whether they're even car people or not. I mean, the amount of possibilities and benefits you have with a vehicle like this and around this price range, you really can't beat in today's market. And the value of them, they're not bad. You know, they go a little bit down. They're not as good as holding a value like a Honda, but that just means that you get these for a lot better of a price than you would brand new. So I highly recommend this car. Honestly, really do. As a Honda guy, highly recommend this as your first car, as your first sports car, as a daily, as your last car in life, you know. And on that note, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you guys on the next video. Subscribe, like, and comment. Peace.